been, bro?
Been good, bro. What about you?
I've been just chilling today.
Same, man. Same, man. Just cooking up. Every
Yes, sir. Getting the grinding.
For sure, for sure. So yeah, I got everything recording. So let's just get this started.
Bet, let's
Say
go.
a little something about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like what you've been doing, who you've been producing for, and everything.
All right, so my name's Jper, and I've been locked in with a Polish now artist named Ozuu. We've been locked in for over a year now, and recently we've been getting a little success, let's say. And what I think is special about our relationship is that we so close that he puts me and the other producer we work in, Prod by 86.
Mm.
He like whenever he drops on Spotify, he puts us collaborators, not like producers, so we get
Mm.
our own like artist pages and shit.
Wow, that's dope.
Yeah,
So he's really looking out for you. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys really got a relationship.
on God,
So it's not just like he's buying beats for you, or buying beats
nah,
from you. It's just like actual relationship. You know what I'm saying?
yes, bro.
So speaking of that, do you guys go like 50-50, or does he buy beats from you? How do you guys do that?
He doesn't pay for the beats yet. We just go like even splits for
Mm.
now
That's dope.
because like the money we're getting from Spotify and streamings in general isn't like it doesn't like cover and like the beat price. So we just chilling together. We just make music because we want to. So
Yeah, exactly. That's
we
how
don't
it
really
gotta be.
think about money.
Yeah. So, are you guys in the same area? Like, do you guys like meet up IRL?
Nah.
Nah. So just online. You just send beats over them.
Yep.
That's dope.
We have like our own Discord server and we like work for that.
Yeah. I looked into that. We'll get to that in a second too. So
That.
so do you have any networking gems for any like other producers when it comes to locking in with artists and everything?
Yeah. And this is the reason I actually wanted to get on this thing.
Yeah.
Uh because like when you look for art, like I know basically everyone wants to find an artist that they can lock in with. But there's like this fear of like, yo, what if he dumps me after he gets big? What if he like doesn't blow up and all of that stuff? And what helps is when you are looking for artists, look for their consistency and mindset.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of artists that make a general sound that you like with, that you fuck with, but not everyone has that mindset, and not
Yeah.
everyone is putting out songs consistently, and not everyone has their eyes on the prize. So that's what you guys should be looking out for.
Exactly. Mindset's everything, man. If you don't got the grind, it's like what you doing it for?
Yeah,
Exactly. That's definitely one of the most important things besides music and everything, which obviously, because music got to come first, but the grind is really what you got to have. Because even if you just have one song, if you're not putting in that work, you're not going to be able to keep it up. You know what I mean?
yeah, bro, there's like a shit ton of artists that have fire music, but the last song they've dropped was like 6 months ago.
Exactly. You're only as good as your last song. A lot of people say that, even famous rappers. So it's like if your last song's doo doo, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's facts.
Like, but yeah, but let's go back like to the beginning. So how did you get into music and everything? Let's go back to like your background.
Right, so when I was like 13 or 14, I was listening, like I didn't even listen to hip hop. I was just listening to EDM,
Mm.
and I was looking at artists like Martin Garrix,
Mm.
and I was like, damn, bro, I want to do that. I want to be a DJ. So
Mm.
I bought my first DJ controller, but after like a few months of DJing, I was like, hold up, hold up, hold up. All that fire shit I'm playing, bro, it has to come from somewhere, someone
Mm.
makes that shit.
Yeah.
So that's how I like got into producing.
So where are you from again? Too?
Poland.
Poland. That's dope. That's dope. So you got started through DJing.
Yeah.
So from DJing to now, how did you get here? So you started producing. What came after that?
Um, I wouldn't necessarily say I started producing. I've been wanting to produce, but I didn't like, I was so young that I
Mm.
didn't understand like what the grind is and that I need to make a lot of shit before my shit sounds fire.
Yeah.
So I was just like trying to make like an EDM song now and then, but it wasn't like nothing serious. Then I started getting myself into hip hop music. Uh, so I started to make some beats, but they were really trash. And like the whole progress, the whole uh, between me starting to produce beats and then actually, and the beats actually starting like somewhat good, it took me like 2 years, bro.
Wow,
It
yeah, same.
shouldn't be that long, but I didn't understand. I have to just log in.
Yeah. Did you have any musical background before you started getting into it at all?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
That's crazy. Because I had some musical like inspiration before, like from my parents and everything. So I could see it from your perspective too. So did you end up like playing any instruments or anything? Did you get into that at all?
I played a little bit of keys, but that
Mm,
was like all after I started producing. I was like, yo, let me pick up on keys. So
yeah,
I like learned some music theory and stuff. Then I picked up the guitar. Like I'm not good at any of these, but it's just fun to do it from time to time.
that's dope. That's dope. So mainly you just clicking melodies and
Yeah.
stuff, and you
Um,
and also with working with producers too. I know you said that you're working with Prod by 86. Is that him?
yeah.
Yeah. So how do you lock in with producers?
Nowadays, I basically just use each other's loops.
Yeah.
Like I literally just go on Discord and browse for loops. And that's basically it. And with Prod by 86, it's like nowadays I don't make melodies that much,
Mm,
but when I'm making a song with Ozuu, we all like let me tell about the process of us making the song because I feel like it's so different. Because nowadays, like Ozuu is really tapped in and he knows a lot about beat making. So first of all, he really knows how to explain what he wants. And second of all, he literally is in all the discords browsing for loops himself, and he
mm,
either sends us shit he likes, or he like the last song that's out called Moment.
mm.
He found a loop on Splice, like a basic 8 bar loop, just one stem, recorded the whole song off of that, and we like built a beat around it.
Wow. So he's part of the beat making process too.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not the beat making process, but he understands it.
Yeah, he pretty much starts it because it wouldn't become anything without that first initial melody. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's facts.
that's dope. So let's get so what's your approach when locking in with artists and stuff? Because I think we started talking about that, but what's your main approach?
With like new artists
Yeah,
that
like
I have
new
never
artists.
met,
Yeah,
I would just say their shit is fire, and I would like to look in and send them some beats. And good music always defends itself.
yeah,
So
true.
it's like there's a lot of game surrounding like how to DM people and stuff. But I feel like as long as you find people who aren't really up yet, but have the mindset, like if your beats are fire and they play it, it doesn't matter what you tell them. It's
Yeah.
just like if you fire, they will like to lock in with you, and that's how it starts. But from that point, I like to get personal with them and like hop on Discord and just talk about some random shit because that's how I did it with Ozu, and it really, really worked.
Mm,
And I haven't found another artist like him yet. But once I do, I'm gonna try to like do everything like the same way.
yeah. So, do you sell beats at all? Do you or
Like
like
on BeatStars and
yeah.
stuff. No, not really,
No, you
because
don't.
I was like back then I was trying to. I didn't sell any, and now I've sold maybe like 5 or 10 beats, and all of these sales came from just me working with Ozu and
Yeah.
like people hitting me up because they've had the song.
Yeah. So what do you think the future of beat selling is? Like, do you think it's gonna be on BeatStars or like independent
I,
pages?
I feel like there's a lot of different like lanes to do that, and the one like shit. People be saying that YouTube is oversaturated, and I don't really believe that
Mm.
because when you look at it from the bird's view, literally every industry is oversaturated and everyone is trying to like make money. But as long as you do it the correct way, you're gonna succeed. Like there's no not another way around it. So
Exactly. Especially in today's world with music and everything. If you really have good melodies and everything, if you really have good beats, like more unique beats, I feel like you could just slide in with any artist. Especially
good
like
music defends itself.
especially like the best artists right now, like even like the smaller ones. Like if you got good music, you can really just lock in with them, send them beats. It's really it's hard to have the good music, but once you have that, it's not that hard, to be
Yeah,
honest. But that is
totally agree.
more than half the battle with the music. But yeah, do you have any advice for upcoming producers for like beat selling or anything?
I don't believe I'm the right person to ask that question, and
Mm,
people shouldn't be listening to me because I haven't done that yet. I haven't been
mm,
focusing on it that much, so I don't believe like even if I had advice, I don't think it would be worth much.
yeah, I feel you. So that's cool. I'm cool with that. So what's some red flags when collaborating that you have? Like, have you ever had any like bad moments with producers or artists when working with them?
Not necessarily. I've had some red flags when it comes to like people hitting me up for beat packs
Mm,
and shit. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick because that was so fucking funny, bro. I've had a guy hit me up asking for the beat from the latest Ozuu song, basically
mm,
begging me.
wow,
He did us said, please, can you slide the beat from that Ozuu song? It won't be for
man.
money making purposes or whatever. And you know that cute begging face? He did that too, bro. I was like, nah.
Oh man, trying to get the instrumental. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
never do that. Like,
Never do that. Nah, can't be doing that. But you gonna pull it up or
I
hold on?
mean, it's in Polish, so I just
Oh
want
yeah,
you to
true,
pull it
true,
up
true. Oh yeah,
to
yeah,
read
yeah, yeah. Facts.
yourself.
All right, you don't have to if you don't want to, but we're good.
Yeah, but other than that, don't shit, man. I don't know. I haven't had any like bad interactions. I think it's just common sense. You just get the vibes from the person, like if he's worth working with or not.
Yeah, I feel you.
You just got to judge for yourself. But
So,
other than that, the only thing you can lose is time. So
mm, so would you consider it a red flag if you sent a beat to an artist and he just
yeah,
posts a song without saying anything to you, and he doesn't like ask for your distro kit or anything, like give you any royalties, and then you ask for all that, and then he just doesn't give you anything.
oh yeah, that's a red flag.
Yeah,
Don't
I
ever
agree.
work with that guy again.
Yeah, because some
But
producers don't think that. Some producers just let that slide.
no,
It's
I mean,
crazy.
it depends on how big that artist is.
Yeah,
Because if he has the potential to really blow you up, you can keep sending him shit. But I don't think it's enjoyable, and it like it, when that happens, you really know they don't care about you.
yeah,
And I think people should be locking in with people that like care about you. You care about them. It's a mutual relationship. You both trying to lock in and be the best. So
yeah, exactly. So if they're not reaching out to you, they really don't care about the music. They really don't care about because you're half of the music if you're producing it.
yeah,
So if they don't reach out to you, so yeah, I want to see your opinion on that because I asked another producer that, and he said it was like cool. It's just didn't
hell
release that
no.
interview. You know what I'm saying? Bad game, bad gems. But yeah,
I mean,
next.
people want like everyone has a different way of working with people. If you just want to be credited on as much songs as possible, that's cool. But for me, it's not that enjoyable. I really enjoy like locking in with people and building
Mm,
that relationship. So
yeah, exactly. It's not just about selling beats. It's not just about that. It's about you know what I'm saying the actual music and the
yeah, because
relationships.
yes, because they're like right now, let's say the song does like 5,000 streams, it doesn't mean shit. But if you have the relationship in place and that artist blows up, he's dragging you along.
Man,
If the relationship isn't there, you're just staying down here. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. And then he's just gonna keep buying $50 beats from you or whatever. But if you really lock in with
Yeah,
him and then you blow up, so much more. You know what I'm saying? So I feel
God,
you.
bro.
I feel that. I feel that. So on another subject, do you think there's a difference between beat makers and producers?
I really think there is.
All right, elaborate on that.
And I think everyone knows the difference already.
Mm,
It's just a question of whether do you believe that difference exists or not.
yeah. So maybe elaborate on that a little quick. What do you think the difference is?
The difference is that a producer, I first of all, I don't think a name beatmaker is worse than a producer. They are just
Yeah,
like different things.
yeah,
Because
different things.
most of the time people will get mad that somebody calls them, bro, you're just a beat maker, you're not a producer, and they can take it as an offensive thing. And I don't really think it should be,
Yeah,
because like stemming back to all the times, a produce like back to the rock star bands and shit.
yeah,
A producer was just a guy who would be with the band in the studio, and the band will like, shit, bro, we need a bass track for this song. I got a guy, and that's all
yeah,
he would
exactly.
do.
That's
You know what
all
I
he would
mean?
do. Facts. I haven't seen a lot of producers make that point, but yeah, exactly. So, but
And
yeah,
and even like branching out. Sorry to interrupt you, but even like branching out, what does a film producer do? He makes sure like everyone on set is cool, and like takes care
mm,
of all the possible shit that can happen so that the movie can come together. And
exactly.
I believe like music is pretty much the same.
Yeah, so with producers, they don't always have to be in the music making process, like all the time. They can
Yeah, because
be,
there's a lot of stuff to do besides that so that the song can come together.
yeah, but they kind of are in a sense too because they're bringing all the people together, like the piano player or the bass player if they need a bass track, like you were saying. So there's a lot of ways people can interpret that. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but with beat makers, usually it's just sitting on the computer, loading up, clicking out melodies. That's usually what producers do, and then they like send them out, or not producers. That's usually what beat makers do, and then they send that out. They send those out to rappers, and then those rappers get to record of themselves and everything. The beat makers don't actually like have any influence on the rest of the song. You know what I mean? On the rest of the project. So my basic point is like producers actually have like vision and like they actually I just lost train of thought. My bad. But look, producers actually like follow through with the song. You know what I mean? Like they like not just the music making process, not just the beats. They actually like go like with the mixing and with like how you're saying with like bringing in like bass players and everything. That's what producers
Yeah.
do. So
Yeah, and also giving feedback on the song.
yeah,
Being like, you can make the beat, get the song back and say, damn bro, the hook is fire, the verse is fire, but I would do something else on the bridge, you know what I mean? Or like
mm,
maybe shit, bro, I would change the intro because I made that beat without the vocals in mind, and right now I'm gonna go back and change the intro or something
yeah,
like that. Or maybe let's change the key of the whole song on the BPM.
yeah, exactly.
That's like
So
the
that's like
producer.
insight on the song and produce. That's stuff the producers do, and
Yeah.
some beat makers just don't understand that, or just people who are just beat makers, because you can be both at sometimes. But some people who just make beats and everything don't understand that like producers do all of it. They don't. They have insight on all of it. They don't just have insight on the music.
Yeah.
So yeah, just wanted to elaborate on that for smaller producers and everything, because some people just don't understand that. They just don't click. They
Yeah, I
just
mean
don't
it's
click.
just a different skill set, but you gather it like along the way. So don't ever be afraid of like being stuck in the beat maker role, because first of all, it's nothing to be ashamed of, and second of all, it just comes with time and just
Yeah,
making music. And also another thing, when you lock in with an artist, you get that insight. You get to be the producer, because you can't really be a producer, not just a beat maker, without actually like being locked in with an artist and working closely.
yeah, I agree. I agree. So yeah, but I got a couple questions loaded up too from people. So
Shit, there was people were actually asking me questions, bro. That's crazy.
yeah. A couple of them were I just said I'm doing an interview with some questions, like interviews with producers. Well, hold up. So one of them is, what are things most producers don't know but should,
Most producers don't know but should.
or most producers or beat makers, since we were just talking about that.
Shit. I'm not sure if most producers don't know this, but learn basic music theory, bro. That makes shit. First of all, it's satisfying to know all of that.
Mm,
I'm not telling you to like learn basic chords and then go talk to everyone uh, like some college professor or nothing, but it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
satisfying to know. And second of all, it makes you make melodies like a lot quicker.
yeah,
And another thing it gives you is when you hear a beat you like or you hear a song you like, it makes it much easier to like, I'm not telling you again to like replicate the whole song, but it makes it much easier to understand it.
yeah. Facts.
You understand what key it is in, what chord progression it's using.
Yeah, that's what
You
I
start
started
to
doing.
like, yeah,
That's how I started out.
it helps a lot.
Facts. You just gotta. I think what you were just saying. How I started out was I just went and like started remaking beats of the songs that I liked, and I learned like basic music theory just doing that. And then I started looking at the actual scales. Like I looked them up online, and I think I heard Nick Muir say this. Like if you just start in one scale and then just keep going up, like and
Yeah.
until you get to the pretty much same one, then that's pretty much the best way to do it. So if any producers trying to do that, I think that's the best method. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and also like don't learn when it comes to learning scales, don't learn the notes, learn the intervals.
Mm,
Because basically every minor scale is the same, it's just transposed. So
mm-hmm.
the notes are different, but what makes it the minor scale is the relationships between notes. So
Yeah, I
that's
agree.
the most important concept, I believe.
So yeah, and to producers out there, I just say maybe start with piano with because I think that's the easiest. You can see all the notes.
Yeah.
So especially maybe clicking it in is cool too. But if you get like a MIDI keyboard, small MIDI keyboard, the cheap, you know what I mean, you can get very far with that. So what is your opinion on sampling? I know you were just talking about splice and everything, but I mean like going into other people's songs and taking the music. What is your opinion on that?
I believe there's like two worlds in sampling. The first one is like sampling old stuff. And I believe like everyone has a, I haven't once met a person who has a bad opinion on that and says, nah, bro, you're stealing music, don't do that shit
Mm,
because it's cool. But I have never actually heard a song that was sampling another like recent song. Like if I now sampled whatever, like a Playboy Cardi song,
mm,
I like, to me it's the same thing, but I know people view it as something different. I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know why, but that's just how it is. But in general, bro, like sampling is what hip hop is based on. It was built on sampling. So
Do you think so? Some people think that sampling is stealing and stuff. So their opinion on that is like taking the music, like you're not making it at all. You're like
hell
some people,
no.
yeah, it's because you're not. But the main problem a lot of people have with it, and I don't necessarily have a huge problem with it, but I can see where they're coming from. Is like taking the credit for the music without actually putting in the work with it. Especially if you're just taking the melody, dropping it in, taking some of the frequencies out, and then just using it and not really giving any credit and then selling the beat. So
I
what do you
mean,
think about that?
I'm a big believer in crediting where credit is due. So if you sampled some and like credited, it doesn't have to be in the title on album because people don't care about that. But like on Spotify and like on YouTube, like deep down in the credits, you can, I believe you should do that. But I don't think it's a wrong thing. I mean, right now, somebody could give us a sample, give us 15 minutes, and we would make two different, like totally different pieces of music with it.
True.
So, and even with loops, people say like, oh, you use loops, you have no source, bro. Like,
Yeah.
dude, give me a loop and make a beat yourself with that loop. We will
Right.
make two different things, not making mine
Yeah.
is not saying mine is better, yours is better. It's just like two different things.
Loops are definitely different though in a way because like another producer's making it. With
Yeah.
samples, it's just a it's actually music like that's already been released from however long ago. A lot of people sample from like the 80s, so 40 around 40 years ago.
Yes, it is different, but I think the concept is the same. You are using other people's work to basically create your work.
True, yeah.
So in my eyes, it's just different from the legal standpoint.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. With it, that's the main problem I have with it. It's just like people starting to sue you if the song gets big. So I don't really have a problem with it about the stealing or I wouldn't even call it that,
Yeah,
but the
that's what
legal
happened with
issues.
Lucid Dreams.
Yeah, exactly. And he didn't even like sample it for real. I saw
Yeah, he
the
just remade it.
yeah, he just remade it and clicked it in. So you even just doing that, you can still get sued. So that's another gem for producers. So if you're gonna start doing that, maybe like flip the sample a little more so they can't tell. Or
Or even
if
just
I
change
was
the
gonna
key.
yeah, if I were them, if I was a producer who was gonna start trying to sample or anything, I would take inspiration from the melody than just completely take it. I'd maybe try to learn it on piano and like how Nick Muir did in Lucid Dreams. I'm pretty sure he just learned it on piano and clicked it in or however he did it. But I'd say more take inspiration. What would you think about that?
I think
what advice would you give to producers for sampling?
I'm not really a sampling producer myself.
Mm,
So again, like if I were you listening to this shit, don't take me like don't take my word for granted because I don't really know that game that well. But what you said about Nick clicking in clicking in the melody or playing it on piano or whatever, I think that's another way to make a sample unique because you can take the melody and put some different sounds on it.
mm,
That's what Nick did in Lucid Dreams, and like the melody is the same, but the sound of it, it's not. So
yeah, I feel. You. So moving on. Sorry, it's on my mind. So moving on. What about the Sound Village Discord? I wanna talk about that because I saw it in your link tree, I think.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
what do you guys do in there?
Basically, like the concept has stayed the same. Back then, it was just us and some. So first of all, it was Prod by 86's Discord,
Mm,
and I can actually tell the story of how we met here because I was with my boy just chilling on Discord or whatever, and he's like, "Yo, this that producer, Prod by 86, I really fuck with him. Let's pull up to his Discord." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." We
mm,
pulled up. We talked about VSTs or whatever, just nerdy producer stuff. You know what I mean?
mm,
Back then, it was like it was his Discord for him and his friends,
mm,
and we just talked for a bit. And 86 just hit me up like, "Yo, let's lock in and work on shit." And that's how it all started. And after like a few months of me, 86, and also working together, we decided to like make the Discord public. So down the road, we can have a lot of people in there just chatting. Like we can post some snippets for them and stuff. And that's what it became. Like we have a section just for us to post beats, loops, acapellas, and all of that. So we
mm,
have like a personal section, and there's also a public section for like all of the people. There's close to 400 people in there right now, so that's pretty huge.
mm. So is part of the reason you made the Discord public is for people to network and for people to
Yeah, 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 yeah.
so what do you think the future is for the Discord?
For our Discord,
Yeah.
shit, just more people, more creatives, just locking in with each other. I've
Mm,
already found 3 or 4 artists maybe that I've sent beats to. One of them, I'm really trying to lock in. I've
yeah.
gotten like 2 songs off of the Discord already.
So yeah,
There's a few
producers.
fire producers in there as well.
So yeah, for producer, definitely go join that Discord. I'll leave that link in below too.
Sure.
For sure, for sure. But yeah. I'm gonna end it off because I think we have 8 minutes left. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna just ask a couple more questions. So, what's your favorite VST? Your first favorite couple?
would have to be first analog lad because that's the only thing I have at the moment.
Yeah.
I've switched to M1 Mac, so getting very extremely legal VSTs has been a problem. Uh, so yeah, analog lab is the only VST I rock with right now, but it has a lot of stuff like for melodic shit.
Yeah. Do you have
I
any
love it.
like free VST gems?
Free VST jams.
Mm.
I'd say what it was called Surge, I believe. Surge is actually fire. Like I don't have it right now because I switched computers, but for like Midwest Kankan, like the Rage stuff, it's really really fire. Like there's a lot of good sounds. Surge XT it is called.
Mm. Have you ever heard of a ample guitar light?
Yeah,
You have. Have you ever used it?
I have back then, but now I'm not a big fan of using VST guitars
Mm. You
because they can't really like it's not that they are worse than real guitar loops. You can use them, but they just sound different. You can easily distinguish them.
yeah.
And sometimes you just want real guitars, you know.
Yeah, I feel you. So yeah, there are ways if you start trying to like strum them or you could humanize them, but I definitely feel you. It's just not the same.
And it will never be.
Exactly.
But there are contact banks, and if I had contact, I would be definitely uh, using their stuff.
Yeah. And there's even some in the one everyone's using, Omnisphere. There's like
I don't have Omnisphere. I've never used it, never had it.
but
But
yeah, with
right now there's a problem of it being like overused.
yeah, true.
You are basically paying a lot of money for a lot of sounds, and only people be saying like only 10% of the sounds are actually usable. So
Wow. Yeah, I never
also I'm
had it
sorry
so.
for the noise.
But yeah, there gotta be some good guitar sounds in there. I think I heard Nick Mira on one of the Juice WRLD
Yeah,
songs that he
yeah, yeah.
produced. Yeah.
There's
He,
a lot of good like VST guitar sounds, but they are just not the same as the real thing.
yeah, exactly. So that's why you need the real thing. You gotta actually play.
Yeah.
Do you think that the future of music would be people actually playing and instruments, or do you think it's gonna be the same thing, like beat making?
I mean, I think that in the future, first of all, there will be like mm, I don't know how it will look like, how it will sound like, but I believe like something will come out that will be totally different from what we know.
Yeah,
But that's like farther down the road. But in the near future, bro, I know it's just everything in music has been done already, and it will be just people flipping it in their own different way.
I feel you. I feel that. So I think we have 5 minutes left. So just to end this off, I want to ask you pretty much a big question.
All right,
What's your biggest like upcoming milestone that you want to hit?
this year. So my birthday is the 30th of April. I really want a plaque by then.
Mm,
I want the ultimate birthday gift, my first plug ever,
yeah, yeah,
and I believe I'm on the right road to it. So
exactly. We just gotta keep grinding. That's really all. Grinding with the music,
yes, sir.
for sure, for sure. All right, bro. So I think that's all we got today.
Yeah,
So
man.
this is just the first season of this interview shit. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to pump them all out. I'm about to get back consistent with this aNeu Wave shit in February. So I'ma just I think I'm gonna wait to post it until around February, like mid
All right.
February. So yeah, and then maybe I'll have you on again in the second season. But right now I'm just trying to have a whole bunch in the first season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
For
I
sure.
really appreciate your time, bro.
Definitely, man. I definitely enjoyed talking to you. Enjoyed having this conversation. I think we had a lot of gems that we could share. So yeah, and I think we could have another one too. I think there's room for another conversation. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, bro.
for sure, for sure. I bet a lot of things will be different by then.
Oh
I
yeah,
bet
yeah.
we're both
And
gonna be up.
before we cut this off, I just want to spill another gem.
Mm.
And this is actually the reason I wanted to get on this interview, bro.
Mm.
So me, as you know, I'm from Poland, right? And the Polish scene is pretty much a few years behind the US scene. And I know that I hope that there's some producers watching living outside of the US, basically
Definitely.
growing up with the US scene and just sucking in the sound. And everyone pretty much knows that you need to be unique in some way in order to go up. You have to have something different about yourself.
Yeah.
But if you are living in another country, there's a big chance that the sound that is blowing up in the US right now, or even was blowing up like 3 years ago.
Mm.
And if you would be doing that, like imagine someone pulling up a Nick Miller piano type beat right now, you would be like,
Yeah. Yeah.
nah, bro, like it's just overdone.
Yeah. It's over.
You do that shit, let's say in Colombia, you would be the first person doing that shit ever, bro.
Mm.
You don't necessarily have to come up with a sound. You can bring it back home where you
Yeah.
live, where it doesn't exist yet.
For sure.
And I think that's basically what we are doing with Ozuu, but we are just taking huge inspiration and influence from American artists, a variety of, by the way, we're not just like copycatting everyone on that,
Yeah.
but there's like really a few people who actually reach out to, like in Poland, who reach out to the US sound and like take from it.
Mm.
So if you are living outside of the US, bro, or like London where drill is popping, hey bro, just do the shit you fuck with. There's a big chance that you would be the freshest motherfucker on the scene.
For real, man. That's a good gem. I agree with that. For sure, man. So yeah, we definitely got to lock in. I completely agree with everything you've been saying. You brought up a lot of good points, man. Especially with the I forgot exactly which point we brought up, but you really you brought up some points that I've been thinking about that I was gonna bring up, and then like other producers are afraid to say some of this stuff. So we definitely got to have another conversation. Definitely got to lock in.
For sure, bro.
So yeah, bro. I fuck with everything you're doing, man. I'm I guess I'm gonna see you in the next one, right?
For sure, bro. I'm
For
looking
sure, bro.
forward to it and I appreciate you so much, bro.
Definitely. All right, bro. I'll see you soon. All right, so that's it for the interview. We definitely dropped some gems, man. I hope you guys learned something from it. But yeah, man, we on a new wave. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.